folks, it's Dave Isaacs with you, and this week in this episode of Picker's Delight, we have once again, unfortunately, an in memoriam post. Billy Joe Shaver, the great Texas songwriter, passed away this past week, and so I wanted to do a lesson on his song Georgia on a Fast Train, which features some incredible guitar playing by his late son Eddy Shaver, and this has been one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite performances. I am looking at the live version of Georgia on a Fast Train from the live Shaver record called Live at Smith's Old Bar. Unshaven, Live at Smith's Old Bar. And it's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to put a link to that performance in the description of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and play this through slowly for you and sort of walk you through the tab, which is linked below. So we're starting off with a double stop bend. So this is with my pinky sitting on the second string at the 5th fret, my middle finger on the 3rd string at the 4th fret. I'm holding both of these, and when I bend, I'm going to back up middle with index and get a whole step bend, which, incidentally, this is a very, very common country guitar lick, something that imitates the sound of a pedal steel in a lot of ways. I'm holding off an A chord, pinky on the 5th, an E note, and then the bent note is essentially 2 to 3, like a 2-3 suspension. So we bend that up, and it's supposed to be like a train whistle, right? So get it to grind a bit there. And then we're going to slide up as we release and then hit the open string as we set up, and I'll show you this in a second. But to set up this bend, which is pinky on the high E string at 12, ring on the B string at 12, backed up by index middle, and it's the same bend an octave higher. The 2-3 suspension on the B string this time, and the high 5th on E. And we're going to hit it twice. So the opening bend lick is 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to be doing a lot of work off power chords down here in the open position. Here is A, one finger. I've got a bar covering the 4th and 3rd strings at the 2nd fret. That's it, plus the open A string. The D version of that looks an awful lot like the straight open position D you might ordinarily play, except we're not including the high E string. That means I've got index on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, ring on the 2nd string at the 3rd fret, and my middle finger is free to hit passing bass notes, of which there are going to be a lot. And we're going to do something similar getting to E. Index finger bar, this time across the 5th and 4th strings at the 2nd fret. Low E string is the root, and the middle finger is free to grab minor 3rd, or even to walk minor 3rd, major 3rd. Here's the chord changes. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, D, and A, E, A. That's the chord progression for the entire song. Our intro, though, is just kind of hanging out on a vamp on A. So after the bends, we come in with this. 2 and 3 and 4. So what's happening here is an A7 lick. I'm hammering off a 5th fret bar, covering strings 4, 3, and 2 with my index finger, and hammering my middle finger on the 3rd string to fret 6. So this creates an A7 chord, which is a piece of our big barred A7. But we use the open A string here, and then flattening out the ring finger to get a D triad, 7th fret, strings 4, 3, 2, and also incorporating palm mutes on the open A string. 1, 2, and And then notice this octave, 7th fret of the D, and this 5th down here, sorry, 7th of the scale, but fret 5 of the D string. Octave, flat 7. So notice this is first bar of the vamp. 1. Variation. Fill-in lick goes down here to the open position. Index is grabbing the 2nd fret of the G. Pull off. Land on the D string. To the open D. Middle finger gets the bass note. At speed. Now, next little lick. The band kicks in full tilt, we're on an A vamp, and we get this. And 4, and. On an A chord, root, and the rest of the power chord, hammer. Basically a major pentatonic lick, but with this minor major 3rd hammer-on the 5th string, from middle to ring fingers. Bend with the middle. Now watch this. E and A. Notice how this lick comes in on the 2nd 16th of that beat, so it's picked with an up pick. 1 and 2 and 3, up, 4, and then up, down, hammer. Now this time this lick is muted. Instead of hammering that last time. So, 2, 3, 4. Now we're into the verse. Notice the use of power chords and bass string fills. 2 and 3 and 4 and 3. Through that. A power chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and alternating bass. Notice the palm mute. D, down, up, D, D, B, C with a bend. Here's that palm muted bass again. Down, up, small bend. Syncopated riff on the E. 3 E and a 4 E and. So that's 4/16 notes. Pull off, upstroke, bend. Go through that twice. The second time, we're going to take the ending a little different. You'll notice in the tab there is a second ending. Lick. So this is jumping to the index finger at the 2nd fret of the high E. 2, 3, pull from 5. 2, 3, 5, pull. 2, 0, 3, 1, 3, 0. And he actually leaves more room here. 1 and 2 and 3 and down, up, want to talk about in this chorus. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. Notice that hammer, and this is down, up, down. Now this syncopated rhythm, down, up, down, up. And then this lick on E, it's like a surf lick. So the tab is not exactly precise. It's not like we're going to... But if you aim in that general direction and keep the palm mute, we'll get the effect. We're going to do this all with the index finger, just making sure that the last two notes, this 3, 4, we're playing with middle and ring because we're going to need to set up an A chord again. So we have this. It's speed. Works a little more naturally. So here is the whole verse here. Sorry, chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get the last piece of that. So, second half of the chorus, after the surf lick, we're back on our A power chord. Down, up, down, up. Hammer. And 2. And 4. This last lick. So, whole chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Ultimately, it's challenging because there's a great deal of precision in this right-hand part. But at the same time, the riffs are pretty simple. This song's got a couple of killer leads that are definitely worth a look, but I wanted this to be a fairly straightforward example of the tune. And what I'm going to do now is just play it through, kind of improvising. I am not working off the tab right now, but I'm going to keep it really simple and show you if I were going to play the most sort of rudimentary part on this using the power chords, what I would do. Something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do sort of need that boom chick, don't we? It is nice if we can get that. You get that control, it adds a lot. So what I would recommend is palm muting back here. There's nothing wrong with resting. Of course, if you're palm muting, you have to rest on the strings. There's nothing wrong with hanging out back here in general if it helps your precision. And just remember that country picking, even with distortion, is really about being clean and relaxed in the picking, and the attitude, well, the sound is coming from the attitude and the speed. Great song, great guitar part, again played by Eddy Shaver on the live record Unshaven, Shaver Live at Smith's Old Bar. Rest in peace, Billy Joe. Rest in peace, Eddie. They're together in music heaven. One of my favorite songs. I love to play it, and as long as I played it, this is the first time I've sat down and really learned this guitar part. So I hope you have as much fun learning it as I did. And I'm going to take us out with One Time Through This Whole Business. Georgia on a Fast Train. This is the intro, verse, and chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eddy Shaver's part for the live version of Georgia on a Fast Train by the band Shaver, written by the great Billy Joe Shaver, who just passed away this last week. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your time with these lessons. I enjoy putting them together, and I hope you enjoy learning from them as much as I enjoy making them. Please subscribe if you don't already, and if you don't follow me at NashvilleGuitarGuru.com, please do. There is new content going up there all the time, and an extensive library of blogs, lessons, and all kinds of other resources. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you next time.